Hi, my name is Debra Daniel, and I'm reading my story. If my mother really loved me, she would have had sex with Gene Kelley. I could have been his love child with graceful feet that moved like silvery raindrops, but my mother only danced with him once when he visited our town. She didn't offer him an evening of hospitality, winking so he'd understand what that really meant. I've spent a lot of time not getting over that. Plus, my mother named me after Debbie Reynolds, knowing I'd never tap my way into people's hearts since she forbids me to take dance lessons. You can only take voice lessons because we know that dancing leads to sex, she says, and sex leads to getting pregnant, and getting pregnant leads to being forced to marry a man who will never be spectacular. You danced with Gene Kelley, I say, and that didn't lead to sex, or else I'd be singing in the rain. My mother says if I use my singing talent, then someday I'll be a famous soloist for a television preacher. I don't want to warble like an old lady church singer. I'd rather sing with personality, like Annette Funicello. When my relatives visit, my mother wants me to sing the Lord's Prayer, which I make into a medley with lipstick on your collar in the style of Connie Francis. Someday, when I compete for Miss America, that will be my talent, because if I look like my mother, I won't be scoring any points in the swimsuit category. She's tiny-boned with no breast. Well, maybe enough for one that she parted down the middle. Also, she knows nothing about makeup or sex. My mother just said they were both bad and only the worst girls succumb. My cousin told me the truth about sex, the good parts. Sex can feel nice and it's not gross. Well, it's sort of gross, but you get over that, my cousin says, if the boy is dreamy. I'd rather not have sex, but if I have to in order to dance, then I'll sacrifice myself. Dancing doesn't make you have sex, my cousin says. Dancing's just fun. I knew it. My mother's ruining my life. Also, even though I begged her to take me to the movie theater where they're showing old musicals, she said no. So imagine my face when my father waited until she had gone out, and then he said he'd take me. My father's a mechanic, which my mother hates. She hates his greasy fingernails. She especially hates his unspectacular crew cut. The movie playing was Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelley and Debbie Reynolds. Afterwards, when we were walking to the car, my father said his favorite part was when soaking wet Gene Kelley gave his umbrella away and danced in the rain. Then my father twirled himself around on the nearest street lamp pole like Gene Kelley, trying to dance, which was terrible and wonderful. So I started spinning too. We both laughed so hard that I realized all of a sudden I was glad my mother didn't have sex with Gene Kelley.